Everyone, good morning. So today is episode 4, and I'm going to be talking about motivations and why we do what we do. I met a very interesting entrepreneur yesterday. He managed to basically do the North Pole and the South Pole in the same year and get into the Guinness Book of Records. Now, not that I'm trying to encourage everyone to do that, but he made me think about what I'm trying to do here in Japan. I'm trying to explore EU-Japan NewSpace collaboration, including NewSpace startups. And one thing I found is, where is entrepreneurship in Japan? I'm not saying that it's an issue of education, neither am I saying it's about intelligence. Rather, I think it's about inspiration. It's about this idea of what triggers someone to want to do something that is different from what's already been done. Now, I wouldn't usually think of this idea of going to space as simply a dream. I had a very interesting meeting with a business person, and they said to me, well, not everyone thinks like that. I want to kind of get to the bottom of this. It's very, very interesting. When we have people like the likes of Elon Musk, SpaceX, Virgin Galactic, all talking about human spaceflight and this idea of interplanetary species, I wonder if it's a question of giving it time to grow. In other words, it's not just purely an idea of saying this is my idea, but rather saying this is my idea with the space and the capacity to grow that idea in the same way you may brainstorm applying for a job or getting into a particular university or even cooking a certain recipe. So I think what I'm trying to say is, what would actually motivate people to go from A to B whilst B may seemingly be impossible? I'm going to probably explore this theme a bit longer, and I'll probably have a few more meetings with people who've managed to, I guess, what I call break their own barriers in terms of mental barriers of having to do that. I want to touch on a slightly different topic, which yesterday I was sort of reminded of. I'm very curious in Japan why there seems to be very little violence. And then someone said to me, well, actually there's a lot of suicide. I agree with that. And so the issue of violence may be a internalized violence as opposed to an external violence. Now for me, on the face of it, one would say it's a terrible thing, and it truly is. On the other hand, I would say it's a form of energy. It's a form of negative energy, which if channeled positively can actually do a lot of good. So I think alongside this idea of motivation, how can we turn that negative energy into something positive? Now, exploration, this idea of exploring space, exploring the universe, exploring Mars, the North Pole and South Pole, Himalayas and mountains and whatever you want to say, even the deep sea, I would say probably have something in common. It's this idea of curiosity, and it's not curiosity that killed the cat, but rather it's curiosity to say, I don't know what's out there, but I would like to have a look at it. And to have the courage and say, I'll do what I can to make it happen, and not wait for someone else to do it. I would love to hear your views. Please hashtag NewSpace2060, hashtag EU Japan Centre. As for the next few months, that is what I'm trying to explore, and it's primarily EU Japan NewSpace. Thank you, and look forward to seeing you in the next episode.